All right, this guy's got 13 minutes to explain football's greatest rivalries to me. You guys are used to a different setup. My microphone just stopped working right when I needed it to work to film some content today. I've got class in a very short amount of time, so I got to get this video filmed. Let's learn about football's greatest rivalries.
Boca Juniors versus River Plate. Super.
I know about Boca Juniors and River Plate. In fact, I think this rivalry, it's like one of the biggest in the world. It's the Argentina's biggest for sure. This rivalry, if I remember correctly, is I don't know if you in Argentina, I don't know if you call it a derby, but it is a local rivalry. And if I'm remembering correctly, there has something to do with a river, and like one of the clubs became super wealthy. And so there was a huge class dispute between, I think it was River Plate, became a wealthier side and started kind of throwing their money around. And there was a huge class dispute between the fans of Boca and River Plate. I think I'm remembering that correctly. It's been a super long time since I learned about this rivalry.
Clásico. The Super Clásico between Boca Juniors and River Plate is not just Argentina's biggest football rivalry. It's one of the most intense in the world. Historical significance. The rivalry began in 1913 and has since been marked by fierce competition and unforgettable matches. The 2018 Copa Libertadores final, held in Madrid due to security concerns in Argentina, was a testament to the rivalry's intensity. Key moments. In 1968, Boca triumphed over River in a dramatic penalty shootout.
No lo estaba habilitando Samuel, aunque marque posición adelantada el doctor. De cerca estaba Román, recupera Arruabarrena, ya la tiene Traverso, ya se viene Marchand, aquí va Marchand, mira que lejos que salió Yepes, viene para el Chango habilitado el Chango, el Chango.
Fun fact. The Super Clásico was named one of the 50 sporting things you must do before you die by The Observer. Celtic versus Rangers, Old Firm Derby.
I'm not super thrilled about this explanation of these rivalries. If I'm being honest, I think you could go a little more in depth in the research here. Like, there was no explanation of the inception of this rivalry. At least, yeah, there was no explanation of the inception of the rivalry and how I believe there was a class dispute between River Plate and Boca Juniors early on, and also because they were in the same community, if I'm remembering correctly. And River Plate moved to a more affluent or wealthy area, and then they started throwing their money around, and there was a huge dispute there between the two sides, and it was like a class war. But I remember that from literally months ago, watching a video on this. I don't know the in-depth history, and from these videos, I actually would like to have some. This seems almost AI generated, like somebody asked ChatGPT to spit out a script. Come on, man. Come on, creators. Don't take the easy way out. We've got to make high quality videos. Let's go.
Old Firm Derby between
I say that as I do reaction content.
Celtic and Rangers is Scotland's most storied rivalry, deeply rooted in religious and political differences.
Yeah, I know this one well.
Celtic, traditionally supported by the Catholic community, and Rangers, backed by Protestants, represent more than just football clubs. They embody the cultural and social divides of Glasgow. Historical significance.
They've also won almost all of Scottish premierships
and has seen over 400
championships.
Matches. It reflects the sectarian divide in Scotland, with tensions often spilling over into violence.
Yeah.
Key moments. In 1925, Celtic's Patsy Galatas scored a famous solo goal, leading his team to a Scottish Cup victory.
Himself, he does well, gets it away from Brown, through to Tosso, a little touch by him. Buffalo again, he's got Novo on the right-hand side, then comes that to Novo, drives it across, and Tosso, and there at the near post, and Novo
Interesting fact. The term Old Firm originates from the commercial nature of the early matches, with the clubs benefiting financially from their rivalry. Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
El Clásico. El Clásico is more than just a match. It's a battle between two of the world's most successful football clubs. Barcelona
El
and
Clásico.
Real Madrid represent contrasting philosophies and political tensions in Spain. Barcelona's identity is tied to Catalan nationalism, while Real Madrid is seen as embodying Spanish centralism. Historical significance. The rivalry began in 1902 and has become one of the most watched sporting events globally. It reflects the broader political and cultural tensions between Catalonia and the Spanish state. Key moments. The 19...
See, I wish you'd dig deeper into that. And I know we're trying to explain the greatest rivalries in 13 minutes, but deeper into these a little bit. You don't have to take up you don't have to take up 3 minutes to dig deeper. You can just go beyond the surface level here. These are things I already know, but we're gonna probably get into some that I don't know, and I'm sorry to be super critical of this piece of content, but
43 Copa del Generalissimo semi-final, where Real Madrid's 11-1 victory remains controversial.
La primera ocasión del partido, el juego del Fútbol Club Barcelona, el pase de Luis Miguel López Recarte y el remate final de Stoichkov, que estaba en fuera de juego según el colegiado. Eran las
Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi's era added another layer of excitement, making every El Clásico a global spectacle. Fun fact: El Clásico holds the record for the most goals scored in a single fixture in European football history. We've already covered some intense rivalries, but the biggest battles are still to come. If you're enjoying this breakdown of football's greatest clashes, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the fiery rivalries we're diving into next.
so far this is the first time I've done a reaction video where I'm not really vibing with the content I'm reacting. I'm gonna put it up though. Let you guys enlighten a little bit deeper on each one of these rivalries in the comment section below. I'm a little upset with how this video is going, and I'm gonna put this out, okay? I'm not gonna run from it. I'm gonna be dreadfully honest.
AC Milan versus Inter Milan, Derby della Madonnina.
The Milan
The
Derby.
della Madonnina, contested between AC Milan.
Also, really, really tense rivalry because this is one of those rivalries where they share a stadium. So, depending on who is home and who is away, I think they a majority tickets of the ticket sales, depending on who's home or away, or something along that lines. But a very, very fierce rivalry, and they share the stadium because it's the Milan Derby.
And Inter Milan is one of football's most iconic and passionate rivalries, dividing the city of Milan along club lines. With both teams sharing the legendary San Siro Stadium, the atmosphere during these matches is electric, as the city comes alive with anticipation and fervor. The rivalry is steeped in history and tradition. Historical significance. The rivalry began in 1909, with both clubs achieving significant success domestically and internationally. It represents the classic struggle between two giants within the same city. Key moments. In 2003.
Again, elaborate. You said two giants in the same city. Why is that important? Take it deeper.
The two teams met in the UEFA Champions League semi-final, with AC Milan progressing on away goals. The infamous 2005 match where Inter fans threw flares onto the pitch, causing the game to be abandoned. Interesting fact.
I didn't know about that.
The derby is named after the Virgin Mary, whose statue sits atop Milan's cathedral.
Oh, okay. So, yay! This is the point of these videos. I want to learn something new. Here, I get to learn something new about the Inter Milan or the Derby. So, the Derby della Madonnina, also known as the Derby di Milano, is a derby football match between the two prominent Milanese clubs. Right. It is called see, I am not going to be able to pronounce this, but it is the statue of the Virgin Mary on the top of the. What does that say?
Cathedral, symbolizing the shared heritage.
I can't read it. This is great content. This is great content. I can't read it. Referred to as the Madonnina, the Little Madonna in Italian. So, it is named because of the Virgin Mary. Interesting.
Whose statue sits atop Milan's cathedral.
Well, that makes sense. Being in Italy, Catholic, Catholicism being centered in Rome makes sense for there to be heavy imagery in an Italian dark.
Symbolizing the shared heritage of the city. Liverpool versus Manchester United. The rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United is not only England's most famous football feud, but also one of the most intense and historic in the world. This rivalry is deeply rooted in the industrial history of the two cities, where economic competition in the 19th century laid the groundwork for the fierce animosity that would later manifest on the football.
Wasn't it a dispute over ports? Like a port, like it's a trade dispute, if I remember correctly, because, and I might be, I think Liverpool is a and this is going to show I'm an American. I'm terrible at geometry. It's a joke, geography. Liverpool, is there shipping? There's some sort of like port dispute, and I don't remember all that went into it, but yeah, I remember this a little bit.
Pitch. Both clubs have enjoyed immense success, making them the two most decorated teams in English football history. With numerous league titles, FA Cups, and European trophies between them, the battles between Liverpool and Manchester United often represent more than just 3 points. They are clashes of legacy, pride, and a fight for dominance in English football.
All right, so the rivalry has been, since he's not going to go deeper, I'm going to go deeper. The rivalry has been fueled by the proximity of the two major cities that they represent, their historic, economic, and industrial rivalry, significant periods of domestic footballing dominance and European success, and their popularity at home and abroad as two of the biggest earning and widely supported football clubs in the world. The two clubs are the most successful. Right, I got that. So I want to see the intercity rivals. The cities of Liverpool and Manchester are located in the northwest of England, 35 miles or 56 kilometers apart. Since the Industrial Revolution, there has been a consistent rivalry between the two cities based on economic and industrial competition. Manchester, through to the 18th century, was a far more populous city and was considered representative of the north. By the late 18th century, Liverpool had grown as a major seaport, right? So yeah, I knew there was a port involved in this. Critical to the growth and success of the northern cotton mills. Over the next century, Liverpool grew to supersede Manchester, and throughout the late 19th and early 20th century was often described as the British Empire's second city. The links between the two cities were strengthened with the construction of the Bridgewater Canal, the Mersey and Irwell navigation, and the world's first intercity railway, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, for the transport of raw materials inland. Right. So I remember there was a dispute over, tensions between working-class Liverpool dockers and laborers in Manchester was heightened after its completion in 1894. This is the Manchester Ship Canal. Just 3 months before the first meeting between Liverpool and Newton Heath, as United were called at the time, and a playoff match that would see Newton Heath relegated to the second division. Okay. Interesting. So there was a lot of dispute going on between the cities in that port or the canal. I remember reading about that, but not going super in depth into it. All right, back to the video.
Right.
Sorry,
early ball out to Marcus Rashford. Has options in the middle here too. Just needs a bit of space. Marcus Rashford heads to the penalty area. He's still going here. Pokes it across the Mason Mount. Slides it through to Ahmad. Ahmad chops it back to Rashford. Brilliant save, Kelleher.
Historical significance. The rivalry dates back to the late 19th century and has only intensified over the decades. It encapsulates the economic, cultural, and sporting rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester.
Yeah, but you didn't. Yes, it does, but you didn't tell us why. I had to go find it on my own so that we could understand why.
The 1996 FA Cup final, where Eric Cantona's late goal secured victory for Manchester United. In 2009, Liverpool's 4-1 victory at Old Trafford, a rare and memorable triumph. The 2020 season saw Liverpool finally clinch the Premier League title, adding another chapter to their storied rivalry.
Collier can't get there, Salah can. He's into the penalty area, gets the cross, and it's 2-0. And Manchester United...
Fun fact: despite their rivalry, Manchester United and Liverpool have combined for over 120 major trophies, showcasing their dominance in English football. Flamingo versus Fluminense.
Okay, here's interesting. I don't know anything about this rivalry, and now I'm a little upset that I'm probably going to get a very, very surface level understanding of this rivalry. So let's do a new rivalry for me. Was it Flamingo and Fluminense? Flamengo and Fluminense. Fla-Flu.
The Fla-Flu Derby is one of
Fla-Flu.
Brazil's most iconic rivalries, contested between Flamengo and Fluminense in Rio de Janeiro. The Maracanã Stadium often hosts this spectacle, drawing massive crowds and showcasing Brazilian football's flair. Historical significance. The rivalry started in 1912, growing from a split within Fluminense that led to the formation of Flamengo's football team. It epitomizes the vibrant and passionate nature of Brazilian football culture.
Okay, so there we go back to the it's a word salad. He throws out a lot of words but doesn't really explain why. Okay, so there was a split. Wow, so much information. A split within Fluminense. I know I'm saying this wrong. Sorry guys, hopefully I'm not being disrespectful. Let's get into this. The name Fla-Flu was created by the journalist Mario Filho during the professionalization of Rio de Janeiro's football. Flamengo is the most successful team in the Campeonato Carioca with 37 titles, while Fluminense is the second with 33. At a national level, Flamengo has won the league 7 times, and the Copa de Brazil 4 times, while I don't want really histories of their winning. I want the rivalry. The rivalry between these two clubs began in October 1911 when a group of dissatisfied players from Fluminense left the club and went to Flamengo, which at the time had no football department. The first Fla-Flu game ever was played the following year on July 7th, 1912. Fluminense won this match 3-2 with 800 people in attendance. Okay. So even the Wikipedia page doesn't give me much to go on here, other than there was some dissatisfied players who left Fluminense and went to Flamengo, which at the time had no football department. Man, that's very interesting. I wish I could go even deeper than that. Doesn't seem like this video or Wikipedia want to give me much more information. So what that tells me is if you guys are connected in any way to this rivalry, comment in the comment section down below some sources that I should check out to learn more about that rivalry. I love learning. That's what Luke Sports Academy is about. I'm learning the sport. I'm learning the culture of the sport. I'm in research mode. My semester here at college is in full swing. By the way, if you'd like to support me as I make it through college, because I've got to make content and take classes full-time and try to work a side job. If you guys want to support me through that, please sign up for my Patreon. I'm reacting to highlights from games this season, like the La Liga highlights, Bundesliga highlights, games that I can't react to here on YouTube because they'll get copyright claimed or outright blocked. I'm loading up all of that content over on Patreon, having a lot of fun, going through the World Cups over there, historic matches, and got a lot of content to come for it. So if you'd like to go check that out, that'd really support me and help me out. So anyway, let's get back to this.
Key moments. In
The Patreon is linked in the description.
1963, Flamengo won 7-0, the largest margin of victory in the derby's history. The 1995 Campeonato Carioca final, where
Campeonato.
Fluminense triumphed with a last-minute goal.
Renato pede no meio, Rogerinho passa. Pediu e recebeu, Rogerinho, a chegada é boa, Renato na grande área, botou na frente, bateu pro gol!
Interesting fact. The term Fla-Flu was coined by the renowned Brazilian journalist Muriel Fildo, after whom the Maracana Stadium is named. Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke 04 Revierderby. The Revierderby between
I don't know about this derby either. I know of Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund and Schalke 04
Schalke 04
is Germany's fiercest and most storied football rivalry.
Really?
Situated in the heart of the industrial Ruhr region.
I just assumed that the fiercest derby in German football would have Bayern Munich involved.
This derby is more than just a football match. It's a clash of pride and regional identity. Both clubs have passionate fan bases that live and breathe their team's colors, making every encounter a highly anticipated event. Historical significance. The rivalry dates back to 1925 and is a highlight of the Bundesliga calendar. It reflects the working-class roots and industrial heritage of the Ruhr area.
Again, not even a single explanation. I'm sorry for being so, mean in this, but come on, guys. If you're gonna make football content, please make content that gives some more explanation. All right, I'm gonna look up this rivalry, the Revierderby. Say that again. Revierderby. Okay. It's a name given to any association football match between two clubs in the Ruhr region, also known in German as Revier, a contraction of a mining area. But in most cases, it refers to the derby between two most historically successful clubs from the region, Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04. Okay. Okay, let's look at the history. The rivalry began with a 4-2 Schalke victory on the 3rd of May, 1925. Okay, but I want to know about the reason behind the derby. History, statistics, no. Wow, there's not really a lot. There really isn't a lot. Okay, so fans of the team are going to have to help me out in the comment section. I can't find much information on the interwebs.
Key moments. In 1997, Dortmund won the UEFA Champions League, enhancing their status in German football. Fun fact. The Revierderby is one of the few rivalries in Europe where both clubs' home stadiums are just a short train ride apart, intensifying the local rivalry. Fenerbahce versus Galatasaray, Intercontinental
Is it
Derby.
Turkish?
The Intercontinental Derby between Fenerbahce and Galatasaray is Turkey's most intense and fiercely contested football rivalry. As the two most successful clubs in Istanbul, they represent not just different social classes, but also distinct regional identities, with Fenerbahce rooted in the Asian side of the city and Galatasaray on the European side. This geographic and cultural divide adds an extra layer of significance to the fixture. Historical significance. The rivalry began in 1909 and has grown into one of the most heated derbies worldwide. It highlights the cultural and social divides within Istanbul. Key moments. In 1996, Graeme Souness planted a flag in the center of the ground, igniting further animosity.
Van Gobel kaptırıyor. Sürati geliyor golü ceza sahasında gol.
The 2006 Turkish Cup final, where Fenerbahce's last-minute goal secured victory. AlAhly versus Zamalek.
That was not the clip that he was talking about.
The Cairo derby between AlAhly and Zamalek is more than just Africa's biggest football rivalry. It's a clash that embodies the very soul of Egyptian football. These two clubs are the most successful and popular in Egypt. and their encounters are marked by intense emotions, both on and off the field. The rivalry extends beyond just football. It's a social phenomenon that captivates millions across the nation. Historical significance. The rivalry dates back to 1911 and is a cornerstone of Egyptian football. It reflects the broader political and social dynamics within Egypt. Key moments.
Enlighten me in the comment section down below. I love how in this video, every time he says, it talks about the... In fact, let's hear what he said again.
Egyptian football. It reflects the broader political and social dynamics within Egypt.
It reflects the broader political and social dynamics in Egypt. Like what? Elaborate, please. You can't... This is like when I write papers for school. You can't just write and string together a bunch of words and sentences without explaining what those words and sentences mean. I'm being really mean in this video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm not like this most of the time. This video has irritated me.
Key moments. In 2007, a dramatic 4-3 win for AlAhly in the Egyptian Premier League. Fun fact. The Cairo Derby is one of the few football rivalries where the national team's success has not diminished the intensity. Football rivalries are the lifeblood of the sport, creating unforgettable moments and fueling the passion of millions of fans around the world. Thank you for joining us on...
See, the frustrating thing about this video, the main frustrating thing about this video is that I knew a lot, not a lot, but I knew about some of those derbies, especially at the beginning. And so I knew that he wasn't going super in-depth on the rivalry. So then when we got back to the end on rivalries, I really don't know much about, and I would like to learn. I'm frustrated because Luke Sports Academy is supposed to be it's supposed to be my journey. It's supposed to be my learning this game, this beautiful game, this sport. And instead of me learning, I have to, well, I guess that's fair. I can do my own research. And he only has 13 minutes to describe the rivalries. I get it. But I wish that even in 13 minutes, you can pack more content and less fluff. All those long, fluffy sentences, it reflects the broader political and social dynamics at play in such and such city. You don't have to say that. You can explain those dynamics in the same amount of time it took to write that flowery sentence. All right, enough snark from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys.